Hell, Michael Lunsford here, Citizens for New Louisiana, and this Livingston foolishness has been going on a long time. It's been since February, it's been since January that, you recall, in February, the board was fired by the Ricky Golf because apparently he thinks that there was too much drama or something. But where's the drama emanating from? Is it from the board? Of course, Michelle Parrish wants you to think so. But what was going on at the time? You remember Hoopla got canceled because we didn't have the money to pay for it. Well, what's an average normal person like you and me think when they hear that? Well, how much does Hoopla cost? So I did a public records request. Listen to this. Dear Records Custodian, we're asking for all invoices for the Hoopla service for calendar year 2024. Simple. We also, just because for fun, I also wanted to include records or a list containing all presently blocked users from your Facebook page. So the response comes back 2 weeks later. So this is January the 14th. 2 weeks later, on January the 28th, your information is ready. The cost for copies is $44. Documents can be picked up at our Denham Springs office location. And the answer to your other request are no users blocked from our Facebook page. Well, it's interesting. This came in at 11:48 a.m., almost 12. I had checked at about 11. I happened to check. I didn't know this was coming. And this is what we were getting on the Facebook page. Effectively, it says, this content's not available. You've been blocked, effectively. Well, at 11:48, we get this email. I go check. I'm not blocked anymore. So I would consider this felony destruction of public records because we were blocked. Suddenly, when we ask, we're no longer blocked. Make that what you will. At any rate, we're moving along. We're still trying to find out how much Hoopla costs. January the 28th. We're trying to schedule when to come by because who knows when these records are going to be available. She says, would either February 4th or 5th work for you? That's now we're 3 weeks out. 9:30 or 10:30 a.m. would work best for me, I guess. So we schedule that. We go on February the 4th because sooner is better than later. And we get the documents back. We inspect it. We get the documents back. And by the way, did I tell you? Did I mention? Yeah, $44. $44. Anyway, so we go inspect the records to see if they're worth the $44. We get them back here at the office. We're looking at them, and we have a problem. Good afternoon. With regards to the records produced in response to our records request, the Hoopla invoices are highly redacted. The prices are all blacked out. Would you provide a valid exemption for the redaction of this information? Now, let me show you these invoices because this is ridiculous to me. Is this all of them? I think this all. So here they are. They're all the pricing. You see that? It's all redacted. I mean, page after page after page. So there's 12 of these. There's 12 of these. All the pricing is redacted off. So why, Michelle Parrish, why would you do that? Well, we asked her the question, why would you do that? While certain general information, such as the identity of parties to an agreement or contract remains publicly accessible, any records containing commercially sensitive details are protected from disclosure. Commercially sensitive? You're a government organization. Bless it. The redaction of information in the purchasing records is in accordance with our policy, which allows for the confidentiality of such records, if disclosed, would provide an unfair advantage to competitors or bidders. This is permitted under revised statute 44.3.3. So, just to be clear, the board is asking, hey, we need to cut the budget. We don't think that you need a $7.1 million, like $400,000 increase year over year. We need to cut the budget. What would you recommend? I don't have to tell you that because it's competitive information, and if I tell you, then and bad things would happen, right? That's effectively what she's telling me, and I know this was what she was telling the library board at the time because I reached out to several of them. They said she won't tell me anything. She keeps all the invoices locked up. She won't let us see them. This is why, because she doesn't want anybody to have oversight over the library. Listen to this. So we do a request. This exemption clearly only applies to a public power authority. 44.3.3b2 clearly states that a public power authority is a political subdivision of the state created by the governing authority of a municipality for the purpose of construction, acquiring, improvement, operation, or management of a public power project or improvement. As I'm sure you are aware, the Public Library Board is not a revenue-producing public utility. I think your exemption is misplaced, and I ask you to please promptly provide the unredacted records. So we're back and forth and back and forth and back. This is February the 11th, almost a month after we did the initial request. We still don't have documents. This is the work that we do here, y'all, is very difficult, and we're constantly having to convince these public officials, these bureaucrats like Michelle Parrish, to turn over records. This is not like a one-time event. This happens almost every time we do records requests. The average person, by the way, it works on y'all. And I'm not, no offense, but if you send a records request and they say we're exempt under this statute, you usually say, okay, I give up. We don't give up. We stay on this, which is why it's important to support organizations like ours who are shining the light into these dark corners. Here she is, Michelle Parrish. I called and spoke with the library's legal counsel, Mr. Moody, and discussed your interpretation of the law. Mr. Moody agrees with your assessment. Please find the attached hoopla documents as requested. So, and by the way, that email came, it was February the 11th. So we got back, almost a month later, we got these documents. And I added them all up, by the way. So the question, and I have my receipt tape here from my little printer, it's $141,000 is what it cost to do hoopla last year. That's about $12,000, right? $12,000 per month. So we go back. All right, so the revised budget has, the collection is $339,000. About $180,000 of it is digital. So $180,000, you need $141, we're good, right? But no, we had to cancel hoopla. So the new budget that was just, it was declined because Ricky Goff says he wants us to cut the budget, so we cut the budget, and then he gets mad that we cut the budget, and he throws us all off the board, all of our people off the board, puts new people on the board for the purpose of, he said, we're going to cut the budget. What did they do? They raised the budget. You can't. But these politicians, they say one thing, it comes out of their mouth, it sounds great. Oh, we're on Doge, we're going to be cutting the budget, we're going to be getting rid of waste. And they go and they vote to increase the budget because you hear what they say and you don't go look at what they do. We look at what they do. You can judge a person by their actions more so than their words. That's a George Washington quote, I believe. So let's have a look. What's the total here? So the total expenditure for the year, where are you total? 700, there it is, 7,092,000 is what they approved. The budget that was done by the conservative board was 67. Let's do this. We're gonna bring out our old handy dandy friendly calculator that we've used in times past because that's what we do here. We show you how to do this. So the budget that they approved is 7,092,451. There it is. Minus the previous budget, which was 100,000 more than the previous year, 6,786,270. There it is. Equals $306,000 increase since the budget that the conservative board put in. The liberal board just took over because Ricky Goff ran off all the conservatives and put on a new liberal board. $306,000 increase in the budget. 306. Here's a little tape. How much did they need? $141,000. According to Michelle Parrish, she needed and we're just going to say she probably didn't need the whole 141. It may have been $5. Oh, I have to cancel Hoopla. Drama in the community, posting on Facebook, sending emails out, letting everybody know that we had to cancel Hoopla because these terrible conservatives want to cut our $7.1 million budget by a few $100,000. $141,000. But she got a $306,000 increase. What's the difference? Let's figure it out. Minus 141,183 is how much Hoopla cost last year. She got $165,000 extra. $165,000 more than Hoopla. So what's the $165,000 for? That's a good question. We don't know the answer to that. Maybe you should call your parish councilman in Livingston and ask them what in the world is going on at the library where they can't even cut a few dollars from their budget. Like, what was it? Like 3% budget cut? Can't do that. Actually, no, excuse me. It wasn't a 3% budget cut. It was an increase. But it just wasn't as much as she wanted. See how that works?